Welcome back to Kryptolytix, giving you a fresh take on crypto analytics. And this is your crypto recap, where I cover some of the things going on in the crypto space. So let's jump in. So here we are with the Solana portion of this video, ecosystem update, and I'll cover the price just quickly. So Solana is currently trying to break out above these resistances. So that's both the 21-day EMA and the 50-day EMA. It's actually holding above at the moment, which is pretty impressive. And it's also cleared the average true range line. So that's pretty strong. I mean, you know, we might still get a little pullback here to form a higher low, but so far it's looking pretty good. So we had that massive support here at the 20-week EMA, which is where I was buying very aggressively. I even did a post, which I'll cover in a sec, saying that I was stacking heavy at the 129 level. So currently that is up about 20%. Mainly I was buying INF, which is a liquid stake token for SOL, which I'll cover a lot in this video. But anyway, I've covered in previous videos as well. But if you wanted all these updates in real time, they're over on X, so you can follow me in the link below if you wish. And you would have seen that I was aggressively stacking Solana at these 130 levels. I bought a bit at 138 as well, but just very aggressive stacking down here, especially at that 100. So the 100 period was my first sort of spot where I bought, and then the 20 is sort of the next spot where I was just like trying to get as close to this as possible. But yeah, I was just like buying very aggressively at these levels. But we are at resistance right now, but you know, it looks like we've broken that. And the Fibonacci super trend has broken out, put in along here. I actually did get a signal here as well, so I did take a decent amount of profit here. On my short just been in since here, but again, yep, that's been flipped now to long, and I'm scaling into this because I'm hoping for a rejection or some sort of pullback. We might not get it, but if we do, then I'm so building a much bigger long position, but my spot bags well and truly packed. So that's where I've packed my spot, and this is where I'm trading my long, because I'm just using this strategy for farming points on drift. Now that you're not really farming points anymore, they've got a trader program, which they haven't announced the specifics on yet. And just quickly, with regards to, you know, where we could go next. So we've got this long-term line here. So if we extend this line out, we've got both underside resistance here at 170, psychological level at 170, and this long-term trend line at around the 170 level as well. So this is our next spot where we could come to, but still, again, if you've accumulated around 130, that's still 30%, which is really, really nice. But that's our next sort of main level. If we can take out all these moving averages and hold above them, that's the next level. So let's go on with the ecosystem update then, shall we? So here's a quick fractal. This is not ecosystem, but anyway, this is a curb fractal. I quite like these a lot of the time. So let's have a look. So is this what we're looking at for SOL? I mean, this is pretty extreme. So this is measuring from bottom to top in the last cycle. So the start of the last cycle where we had the breakout. So measure top to bottom, breakout, and Fibonacci extension to the 3.618 level. So there you go. ETH did the same thing. So that's top to bottom, breakout here, and then 3.618 level. If Solana does the same thing, 3.618 level is almost at $1,000. So that's pretty insane. So hopefully your bag's packed for this, and there's quite a good chance that we get up there. My targets are a lot more conservative than that, but nevertheless, that would be really, really nice. And here are the receipts for my buys. So this is on Birdeye, so you can see quite clearly I was buying, it says 152, but this is the equivalent of about 139, 138. So that's where I was buying. And again, it's INF, so it's a rebase token. The reason why there's a premium on it is because all the yield from the fees and the staking and stuff is baked into price. So I actually bought about 50 INF in this dip. Actually, it went up to 60 essentially, like that I bought, because by here it was 50, and then I actually bought more once we started looking a lot nicer. So anyway, there are the receipts to prove that I was buying the dip. I mean, look at this. This was beautiful. And right here as well. This was actually right here on this wick. So as you can see, like 60 INF is the equivalent of about 71 SOL. And that's because it's a rebase token. As I mentioned many, many times, rebase tokens means that yield and fees and extra revenue is baked into the price of the actual token. So the actual token goes up more in price compared to Solana. So I'll give you an example. I'll show you an example. So this is INF to SOL. We don't have a lot of price history, unfortunately. So maybe it's better to look at something like JupSOL. Whoa, what the hell happened here on JupSOL? Anyway, so this is the sort of stuff that can happen, right? So if you bought JupSOL on Sunday or Saturday, that was Saturday, sorry, you've actually made 2% extra on your SOL, which is insane. But anyway, so this is what I mean. So this is JupSOL to SOL. You can see the price is just steadily moving to the upside because that's the yield that it's collecting from its validator and the MEW rewards and stuff like that being baked in. So, wow, that's insane. So since September 23, JupSOL has accumulated, and this is 232 days, which this makes about the right amount of sense. It's up 4.66. So that's the yield from the staking baked into the token price. So that's what I mean. That's why there's a premium on JupSOL, INF, JupSOL, all that sort of stuff, because it's baking that yield into the price of the coin. It's a rebase token. That's how they work, right? So there you go. Bought the dip. Hope you did too. And so far, so good. So Sol reclaimed the 150 level, currently at minor resistance. Well, that actually defeated the resistance, took out that resistance, I should say. So, and we're currently above it. Major is at 156 level, which we're at 158 at time of recording. So that's not too bad. We are just in Asia session though. So we'll have to wait and see how the market reacts tonight to the current levels. But yeah, who else bought the dip? INF stacking continues. So keep talking about INF. So I've actually gone pretty hard into this. Now this is a little bit degen, and I probably wouldn't recommend anyone go this crazy into something like this, but I unstaked my 430 SOL and I've moved a lot of my SOL into INF for now. Now there is depeg risk, so just be careful of that. Like you saw before, this can be crazy volatility. But one of the reasons why I'm going hard into this is because they won the LFG Launchpad vote, the second one. They won that. I did vote for them as my primary candidate. So this is how much INF I've got at the moment, and I got a little bit of JupSOL as well. And the reason why I got JupSOL is because I really do think that as part of the next Jupuary, that having JupSOL will give you some extra rewards. I just that's what I think, because the Jupe team is super generous. I mean, you saw the airdrop, it was absolutely amazing. And you know, if you hold their LST, the liquid stake token, then there's a good chance that they'll reward you for it in the next airdrop period. Remember, they're doing it every single year for the next like 3 years, I think it is, because I think it was 4 years total. So we've already had the first year, as in the first Jupuary. So I think we'll have another 3. So that's why I'm holding some JupSOL. I think this is all these wallets. Now I've got more SOL in other wallets, but this is using Sonar Watch. I've covered Sonar Watch before. It's my portfolio tracker. But yeah, this is just a few of my wallets that I've got in here. And then I've got, you know, SOL in Drift and on centralized exchanges and other wallets and stuff like that. But this is all of the amount of SOL I care to play with. I've still got 80. I'm probably going to throw at some other LSTs, but nevertheless, this is what I'm doing. And I saw a post, which I'll actually cover just quickly now and come back to this, is that I saw FP Lee liked the Camino airdrop allocation and how it was done. So Linear didn't benefit Sybils, as in like having multiple wallets, which is what I just showed that I'm doing. But because I've got a lot of SOL that I'm doing this with, I guess I can kind of do it. But anyway, at the same time, they balanced it with generous OG rewards. Now, I didn't get any OG rewards personally. So there you go. And also, I mean, a lot of people only know about this now, but the only thing you can fake is capital X time. You can't fake is capital X time. So the amount of time you hold it. But this guy's speculating, and I don't know if this is the right interpretation. But anyway, I'm going to show you what Kratty speculates on how they might end up doing their point system. We don't have any information on their point system yet, just so you know. So again, it's all completely unknown at this stage. But the idea is, you know, you can go and use their system, Sanctum's DApp, and, you know, use all the features in it. But I think for the most part, the only thing that really matters is holding the token, just like Jitto, right? Just like Jitto, I would say, because they're looking at Jitto and they're looking at Jupiter to work out how they should go about their airdrop, because there's been a bit of drama about airdrops lately. And I think Camino was good, but some people didn't get Camino. But I got about $3,200 worth of Camino, so I can't complain. So we'll just quickly go over this. So they like how Camino did their airdrop. This way they avoided Sybils whilst also giving generous OG rewards. Again, I only just started swapping into this, and so I'm not an OG, unfortunately. I don't think, because I didn't come into OG for Camino either. So this would be people who started buying it around April, maybe? Because this project has been around for a long time, since 21, but as in like Sanctum's been around since like 21, but they only just recently deployed INF properly and all the DApp and all that stuff for it. So they've been building for a long time, trying to work out what they want to do. And this is what they've decided to do. But anyway, so the whole capital X time thing. So the second part of the tweet literally tells you how the team would potentially want you to farm this. So again, I don't know if this is the right interpretation or not. So just keep that in mind as I tell you this, but hold 10 INF, don't recommend this. For 100 days is 1,000 points. Hold 50 INF for 30 days is 1,500 points. Again, this is speculation. This is not confirmed. Hold 500 INF 14 days and get 7,000 points. So again, I think that's what he means by capital X time. So points are not accurate, it's just a clear representation of how I think they will do the airdrop. But going back to the first example, holding 10 INF, and why I don't recommend doing this is simply study the chart below. So you can see how many wallets have hold over 10. It's quite a few. and then 640 wallets over 100, 70 wallets hold over 1,000. Look at these whales. Anyway, so that's what I mean by capital X time. That's just sort of one interpretation of that, but we'll have to actually wait for the devs to give us more information before we can go, because we don't need to speculate once the information's out there, right? So we don't have to guess, but they're working on the tokenomics, right? Because they won the LFG launchpad now, so they've got to work on the tokenomics for the token now, for the governance token, not for INF, but for their governance token. And they said they would be working with Jupiter and the community to do so. But yeah, as I said, nothing confirmed yet on how the tokenomics or point systems work. Just some posts from the dev, Sol Alchemist. So you can come follow FP Lee or Sol Alchemist if you want some more information on this, potentially, like in real time, before anyone else covers it. But yeah, I'm spreading my INF over 3 wallets. I've got, as I showed you before, I've got 268 here, I've got 83 here, and 22 in this other wallet, plus some JupSOL, and I'll probably throw this at another LST once I see something juicy. There's actually JuicySOL, which looks pretty good, which is another Sanctum LST. So another potential airdrop farm is swapping LSTs within their platform, and JuicySOL is potentially one. You could go Bonk Sol, because you could get Bonk rewards for holding Bonk Sol, so remember that's potential. So I might actually split that 80 Sol into JuicySOL and Bonk Sol. But yeah, if you swap between these, then that's another potential airdrop farm, is just swapping within them. Just go and circle, rotate it around essentially, just to potentially farm points. Again, we don't know what the point system is yet, but that's potentially one way to do it. But remember that LSTs can be volatile. So, for example, on the 14th of April with this crazy ARB, I mean, look at this thing. So this is when the whole market dropped, right? And then it regained its peg. So this is one thing about the sort of depeg risk, if you will. So make sure when you're buying these things that, you're not buying it too much for a premium, for example. I mean, if it's down, that's actually even better. Because around on the 14th is one of the times where I was actually buying a little bit of INF as well. I don't think I bought at the actual bottom, but look at this, 2.474. So if you bought INF at the exact bottom here, which, timing bottoms is very difficult, but you would have been able to buy 2.74% more INF than, when it regained its peg. But again, this is the crazy stuff that can happen. So if you buy at a premium, then you're losing Sol. And if you buy at a discount, then, well, you're getting more Sol. Simple as that. But again, remember, the more TVL we get, so the TVL is growing significantly, but the volatility will decrease because there's more liquidity, so less likely that you'll get these crazy price fluctuations, right? But overall, INF has gained 0.4% in 13 days. Very impressive yield. If this was consistent, that would be 14% annualized, and it won't be that necessarily. I think they're currently stating about 10%. But yeah, this is the calculation for, working out the annualized yield based on this 13 days. I don't think you really care about that. But anyway, it's looking good so far, but remember that you can get this crazy volatility. And the way I worked that out is I just came over to here and I just typed in, and this is the same for the JupSOL that I showed before, is I just typed in INF USD, which is here, the Pyth one. So you just press down on the keyboard and then you do the /, which just shares the question mark, and you just type in SOL USD. And this is going to use the Pyth charts essentially. And you just click on that and then press enter. And there you go. Whoa, look at that. It's insane that dip there. But yeah, as candles, it looks like this. Wow. Look at this craziness. You can see this is when at least Pyth, Oracle listed INF. I think this is actually when it listed, but it already had all this yield baked into it just out of the box. So anyway, that's how you get that chart if you want to see where it's at on TradingView. But look at the yield on JupSOL at the moment. And again, as I showed, I'm definitely holding some of it. 17.6% APY. So that's actually the fees from the platform baked in, as well as like probably MEV rewards, 0% validator fee. I mean, this is insane, the yield on this. So really, really cool. And also potentially points for Jupiter. Remember, that's one of the reasons why it's worth holding this. And I think you can deposit your JupSOL into Sanctum as well. But anyway, I guess the long and short of it, main reason why I'm holding these is for airdrop farming. So, what are some other potential airdrop farms that we've got on Solana? So here's what I'm looking at the moment. So after KMNO and Drift are done, the ones that I'm following are Flash Trade, which I've mentioned in prior videos. So you can just trade on their platform and you can fund the FLP. I've put about $1,000 into the FLP just to farm points for it. Opened up a Euro USD trade on there as well, but I'm no Forex trader, so I think that one stopped out. But nevertheless, you basically to farm points for Flash Trade, it will be fund the FLP and trade on the platform. Clone, which I've covered in previous videos, is cloned versions of assets on Solana. I mean, again, you can come over to this post if you want to get to their websites, essentially, but yeah, you can just provide liquidity on the platform. You got Grass, for example, and also Uprock is a similar concept, but they don't have Chrome extension, which is what I'm waiting for, because I don't want to install the app on my phone. But nevertheless, Grass, you can share your internet bandwidth, and that's how you get points. And again, you'll get airdropped in the future. Sanctum by INF, pretty standard, and StonksBot, which I'll cover a little bit more in a second, but this is a automatic bot trader on Solana. Really, really cool. So this buys and sells mostly meme coins using AI, but they've got a point system as well. So that's what I'm farming at the moment for airdrops on Solana. So the LFG vote is done, as I mentioned already, but essentially my main vote went to Sanctum and they won with about 60% of the vote, and Uprock was the second. Again, it's like a bit of a no-brainer. And Uprock is currently where you can share your internet bandwidth, as I just said, and you can farm the UPT token. I'm pretty sure that's pre-mine because I don't think they've actually launched the token yet because they're going to launch it on the LFG launchpad. But anyway, that's what they need. They just need a Chrome extension, and the Sanctum team needs to devise their tokenomics. So you have to keep your eye on the projects, or I will cover them when the information comes out. And also still on the Jupiter team updates, they did their video and they have unveiled a meta acceleration strategy. So they've got a vision for 2024 and beyond. You can come over and watch the video if you wish, or read the docs on what they covered in the call. But this is Jupe trying to push the ecosystem more, essentially, and that's just what they do best. Let's be honest. This is probably one of the sort of most interactive launchpads that we've ever had. It's not just like your Fjord Foundry or whatever, where it's just kind of, I don't know, these pre-sales and stuff like that. It seems like Jupiter is a lot more engaging and sort of encourages you to look more into the project. So it's a cool concept, and obviously for us who are staking our Jupe, well, we get airdrop tokens. So, I mean, that's even cooler, right? Now, also, you know, there was all that drama with MarginFi where the LST lost its peg and people got liquidated. Now, they are looking to refund some of their users after Oracle-related liquidation spike. And, you know, there was also a massive decrease in TVL and everything like that on the platform. But yeah, there's some people, hopefully, that will be issued with refunds. And also with Sanctum, you can have a look at their TVL. It's gone absolutely parabolic. So right now, there's about $300 million worth of TVL. So that's gone absolutely crazy ever since the 30th of March. It grew from 92 million to 300 million. So that's a 3x rise in their TVL. So people are super bullish. And I think a lot of this is probably airdrop farming, but I think people also want that crazy yield on their SOL as well, let's be honest. Now, the points program has ended on Drift, and they've started the new Drift Trader program. So they're currently still calculating the last epoch of points, but essentially they're looking at creating a new program for ongoing rewards. Now, they haven't actually announced what the rewards will be, but Drift is transitioning now to the Drift Trader program. So the Drift Points was a massive success since launch. Drift has seen significant growth across all key metrics. Cumulative trading volume grew from 5.1 billion to 22 billion. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Weekly volume grew from 339 million to 2.2 billion dollars at its highs, and weekly users from 20k to 42k. Again, some of this would be airdrop farming for sure, but it is a good perp dex, and so it's one of those things where they're hoping that, you know, you come for the points and you stay because you like the experience, right? So the Drift Trader program is a new initiative and a way for Drift to recognize traders for their continued usage and giving them a significant voice in the protocol's growth. So I guess this is something to do with the governance token, which is what Drift will be. Your activity is already being tracked. So here's a breakdown of what to expect. So activities tracked, both taker and maker volume. Duration will be an ongoing program, will continue to evolve with the input of the community. More details on how activity will be awarded is coming soon. So that's pretty much all we can say right now, is that they've just stopped the points program. So that's what the airdrop will be for. They haven't calculated OGs yet, which is what I am. I've been using it since V2 started, because there was a V1, but you know, there were issues with it and then they relaunched. So I've been using it since the start of that, pretty much, which was last year, the start of last year. And so any of the OGs, which is like post-Jan, I think, is what the current points program is for. And then there's OG points and stuff like that. That'll get calculated later once they've finally worked everything out. But anyway, that's it. Points program's done. Now there's some other sort of, I guess, points that'll happen, but who knows what they're going to actually do with this, to be honest. But if you're looking to aggressively farm points for Drift, I would probably stop doing that now, because that's pretty much done until we know more about what the Drift program will actually be. Now let's see how some of these airdrop protocols have been going over the last week. So Parcel, it looks like a lot of people have pulled their money out of Parcel. They were just getting farmed. That's what that means, essentially. 52% drop in TVL. There's nothing wrong with Parcel. It's just that people were farming the airdrop. Drift went down a little bit. This is as of the 18th of April, though, so, you know, things may have changed a little bit since here. Zeta Markets, a little bit of a drop in TVL, not too much. I'm surprised it's not gone up, but the end has not been declared as to when they are ending the points program for that, so surprised there's not been a boost here. Maybe we'll get some people moving from Drift because the Drift points program's done. into Zeta Markets, but we'll have to see how that goes. RainFi, apparently, that's another one. I'm not actually watching this, but it's a borrowing lending protocol for NFTs. That's why I don't use it. There you go. No price liquidations. So, yep, they've got a pretty decent growth in TVL. So people are using RainFi. Probably because Shark, maybe. People weren't that happy with the Shark airdrop or whatever. And maybe they're like, let's just like farm the Rain airdrop. So there you go. Sanctum, 6% increase. Actually, it's hundreds of percent over the last month, as I mentioned in my last video. But anyway, over the last couple of months, I would say it's been about 300-400% increase in TVL. MarginFi minus 20%. It's gone down even more since I last checked. And I'm not done with margin. I'll probably use it again, but I'm waiting for the smoke to clear. I'm waiting for, you know, all the dust to settle and stuff like that. And then when it looks like everything's all good again, I'll probably start using margin again. But yeah, for the most part, I'm out of MarginFi almost completely. Clone Protocol, which I mentioned prior, small growth in TVL. They haven't mentioned when they're going to end their points program, but that's one thing you can do. Flow Protocol, they got early access at the moment, so you can come over and check what they're all about. They do have an XP program, and maybe you'll get more boosts for holding Wormhole. So Wormhole holders will earn extra XP if you deposit on Flow. So if you've got nowhere to put your Wormhole at the moment, it's going to be a potential place for it. Anyway, they call themselves a liquidity layer, so if you want to know more about it, then you can probably come over to their website or get the link directly from their Twitter if you want. Make sure you look for that gold check mark. But anyway, Camino points still going. A lot of people are pulling their money out of Camino, I guess, because the snapshot's kind of done. There is an S2, a season 2. I've pulled a lot of my money out of Camino because I wanted to buy INF, and it's completely pointless putting your money in there at the moment because it's 0 LTV, which means if you put the money in there, you can't borrow against it. And I don't even know if it's farming points at the moment as well. So, I mean, maybe I'll put some in there and see if the points go up, but a lot of my Solana that was in Camino is now out and in INF, but I'll put it back in there. Well, I've got some in there at the moment in one of my wallets, but I'll put it back in there once I see that there's some sort of incentive for it, right? We always need incentives. And Meteora is another one as well that you can come over, and that's for providing liquidity. So anyway, that's an update on some more airdrop protocols on Solana. Now let's get on with more updates. So we had the Coinbase has announced integration of Marinade Finance, so you can actually buy the MSOL liquid stake token and trade it on Coinbase Primes. You can actually trade MSOL, which is the first and probably the biggest liquid stake derivative of Solana, according to TVL at least anyway. But they've actually done pretty well overall in terms of their rewards, their yield and all that sort of stuff. But it's not an airdrop token because MNDE token's been out for ages. So that's all sort of done. I think the airdrop on that was done in Q3 of 2021. So you have to be an absolute OG if you wanted to get that. And it was very generous. I didn't get the airdrop on that, but anyway. So let's cover some Memecoin stuff on Solana, as Memecoin season might be heating back up. So Coinbase has added support for Solana Memecoin WIF to their perpetual futures on Coinbase and Coinbase Advanced. So you can actually trade perps for WIF on Coinbase. So there you go. More exposure to Solana Memecoins and Solana tokens on Coinbase. Now I'll cover this. I'm actually testing this bot out. So this is a AI Memecoin trading bot, which I mentioned a little bit before. It's called StonksBot. So I've just put a couple of SOL in there in a test wallet to see how it goes. And after a week, I'm going to see how it performs. So far, it's made a little bit of money on Bodin, from what I remember. I'm not sure if this wallet is on this computer. Okay, it is. So here's an example of it buying Bonk and selling it here. So pretty cool. So StonksBot actually made an 18% profit on this. Really, really cool. It's still in beta, and at the moment it's free, but you will have to hold in the future if once it goes live properly into the main net version, if you will, 150k of their token in order to use it. So this is what the UI looks like essentially. So this is the AI trading bot. It can give you like signals as well. So for example, if you click on any of these tokens, it'll give you sort of entry and exits. So it kind of works stuff out in real time. If there's a entry currently, or if there's a good entry, or if it found a good entry. At the moment for Mew, for example, it's waiting for more information. If I connect my wallet, we'll have a look and see what we've got. So oh, look at that. It sold Mew already. So it did have Mew and it sold it, made a 2.3% profit. It's quite nice. And it bought this, what the hell is this? Maneki? Oh, it's another cat coin. This one that's not on my radar. But we can see it bought Michi, it bought Wen, it only bought $18 worth, but I only put 2 SOL in here. But it bought Michi, it bought Wen, and it bought Maneki, or Maneki. It's Maneki, right? Anyway, whatever. So we come over here to Michi, we can see that price action's not been amazing for it. I think its entry was 2.99. Oh, it bought it down here. Yeah, it bought it right here. So, or maybe it bought it here. I'm not sure. It doesn't actually say. It says 11 hours ago. Well, that was several days ago. So yeah, but anyway, its target is 0.45, which is right here, roughly. Anyway, so yeah, bought around these levels, and it used oversold bounce. That's what it's used to pick this. You can click more info and read why it's taken the trade. It's really cool, I think, in my opinion. Stop loss was 25 round. So I think maybe it's here that it bought, because that's 25 there. So maybe it picked the level based on this candle close on the 15-minute. But we'll see. We'll see if this, you know, is any good, or if this loses money. But so far, it's been all right. So yeah, MEW made a small profit on, and Bowden, it made a small profit on. Well, actually, it's pretty decent, 9%. So yeah, let's have a look at this thing. So it's entered on 0.00928, and its target is 32%. That's crazy. So 9.2, it entered right here. Okay, so it's actually up a little bit at the moment. It's not bad. But anyway, you can come over here and check it out. They do have points at the moment, as I showed you on this page here. And this is only with 2 SOL. So currently I've made 0.03 SOL. It's not that much, but whatever. I only put 2 SOL in here, but I think if this does well, I'll probably put, I don't know, maybe 10 SOL in here and see how it goes. This is pretty degen, but yeah, they've got a points program. They do have a token already though, so it's not like, you know, you're getting in early or anything like that, or maybe you are. You can see the token though has been dumped pretty hard. If you come over here, you can see some of the entries that it recommends. It actually doesn't take all of these, and it can take up to 24 hours for it to start actually buying. So when you put SOL in there, it might take about a day for it to start actually taking trades. I did ask them on X, and they said, yeah, it can take up to 24 hours, and it kind of only picks the best ones. So it doesn't buy all of this stuff. It only buys ones that, I don't know, if it feels like, again, I don't know, maybe if it's a strong, you know, strategy or something like this that's kind of worked in the past. But anyway, if you want some potential, and NFA, not financial advice, but if you want some potential entries on meme coins with stop losses and take profits, here's somewhere we can go to get some ideas. And if you've got some sort of confluence, like if you've done a chart for any of these and it looks like, you know, it's pretty good, come over in here and see if it's recommended any entries and maybe stop losses and take profits. So anyway, it's a pretty cool system. Their token, I bought some around here. It went up about 13%, whatever. Like, yeah, it's not the best looking chart, to be honest. But the reason why I'm buying at these levels is because I'll probably want to use the platform. So, I mean, look, it went up like crazy when it launched, 300%, and just bled down. This looks terrible, in my opinion, but again, I'm just buying it so I can use the platform. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. Again, like, it's made a little bit of profit at the moment. So far, so good. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And you know, there's points. So we'll see how it pans out and what they actually use the point system for, right? Most likely an airdrop. Seems kind of obvious. So still staying on the Memecoin train. So we've got Bonk has gone live on Revolut. So 38 million users in the EU, US, and other eligible countries can now trade in app, along with a learn and earn program starting on the 29th of April. So look at that. You can buy Bonk in Revolut. That's pretty crazy. And did anyone see this? This was in Dubai during Token 2024. This was insane. They used drones to create this big Bonk logo. Now that's crazy good advertising. I mean, come on. And what happened to Bonk after this? Well, I think it's kind of obvious. It went up 50%. Pretty insane. I actually sold my Bonk here, the stuff that's not locked. So it's kind of a break even at this point. But I mean, this was a nice trade. That was 60%. This was a break even. And this one made me a lot of money from $600. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. At the moment, Bonk is still in, you know, I'm still not in Bonk, but apart from the stuff that's locked. But apart from this, I'm still waiting for a buy signal on Bonk. And when I get it, I'll buy it back with a little bit of capital. But yeah, this advertising is just insane. Really, really cool. Now, just a reminder that week 4 of Francium meme season is coming. So you can still get Pyth rewards by depositing some of your memes into Francium. They've got Slurf, MEW, Book of Meme, Popcat, and a couple of others. So just a reminder on that. If you've got, you know, small shroom, whatever, like any of these ones, then this is one place where you can put them. I've got my Slurf in here, and I've got some MEW in here as well, earning yield in Pyth. So pretty cool, right? Why not? If you're holding onto this stuff, waiting for it to moon, you might as well make a bit of yield on it if you can. Also, if you have Birdeye, I think it's only if you got Birdeye Premium, I'm not really sure, but there's actually a giveaway at the moment on Birdeye where you can connect. I tried to enter this and it didn't work, but I just thought I'd let you know just in case it works for you. But there's rewards on CWIF and PRNT. So if you want, come over to Birdeye, come over to the rewards page, and you will see there's the CWIF one, there's print, and there's another one there. So, oh, there you go, regular users or pro users. So for example, you can click here and you can click connect wallet, and I get an error message saying it's not been linked to my account. So I know I tried to add my wallet to the account and it didn't work, so whatever. I can't do this. But yeah, we got until the 15th of May for this one, 24th of April, which is tomorrow. And yeah, this one's also the 24th of April. So there you go. Could potentially win some money there. So whatever, you can check that out if you want. Also, Bybit has listed MEW, which I covered in my last video, for spot trading. So there you go. There's more potential buy pressure for the Memecoin, which I would say has been doing relatively well. We did get a decent dip here, which is where I bought more. So I think my average entry is like here, so I'm kind of break even on that at the moment. But anyway, it's a pretty strong looking chart. I think it's got decent traction, and maybe there'll be a cat season for Solana memes coming soon. Who knows? Because we got Wen, which is Jupiter's Memecoin, or at least Meow's Memecoin, which is the head dev for Jupiter. We got MEW, we got Popcat, Chonky, Michi, and there's SC as well, Sharkcat. I forgot that on the list. But anyway, something to watch is potentially a cat season, because we got the dog seasons all the time, right? We get dog pumps, as in dog meme coin pumps. So, you know, something to consider. Now, let's talk about Michi. I actually added this to my list, and I added this to my buys. I'm actually down at the moment a little bit on it, but anyway. So when I started adding it was 25, and I added more to my position at 19.5 million market cap. That's really low market cap, so this is super degen, so I don't recommend this. So some possible SL and take profit levels were on StonksBot, which I showed in this picture here. I think this would have stopped out, actually. But yeah, I go for more moon or doom scenario. So the moon or doom scenario is 2000%. That's what I like to sort of aim for early meme coins, which would be at $1 price. So currently it's at 5 cents or so. Hang on, let's have actually. I think it's still in its drawdown period at the moment. So yeah, like, I mean, it's not a bad looking chart. Let's have a look on the 4 hour. Not a bad looking chart for a launch. It did this sort of initial pump, and it's pumped up to the previous high, and it's sort of still drawing down a little bit, but that actually doesn't look too bad. Like, no super aggressive sell-offs, no like pump and dump looking scammy price action. So looks not too bad. So I did my first buy at 4.6 and it's at 3.4 now. What's the market cap? Yep, there you go. That's so I bought around a little bit above here as well. So anyway, that's one I've sort of added to my list. So I've seen it mentioned a few times. So that's another sort of metric I look at, is like mentions on Twitter by people, you know, of influence, if you will. Yeah, chart looks decent. If we can get to a 1 billion market cap, which I'm not so sure about, but that's 4,000% from here. So that's pretty crazy. But anyway, and if you look at some TA on Michi, is it at support or is it a breakdown of trend? So it's got this nice sort of regression channel here, which I guess if I just did the same thing, I guess that's kind of what it would be. Anyway, we're still at support, which is, you know, the rejection points here. So still in the support zone, so accumulation zone, if you will. But anyway, it's up to you if you want to buy this thing or not. But anyway, something I thought I would cover, and the StonksBot bought it too. So there you go. But remember, these things can just enter these crazy long sort of drawdown periods where they just sort of bleed for long periods of time. So that's the sort of thing that can happen. I may have just bought a local top. I do all the time. But StonksBot, you know, it's got my back on it. So we'll see. See how it goes, right? So let's cover some normal non-meme coin related news. The Mango Markets exporter RV Eisenberg was found guilty of fraud and manipulation. So I did a video on the Mango Markets exploit. You can find a link in the description above. It's an old video, so I speak very slowly. And but anyway, whatever. I did cover it in great detail, but faces up to 20 years in prison for his $110 million heist. Now, he was actually pretty open about it, and he was like, yeah, like, this is just a feature, this is a function, you know, I just did, you know, what was something that I could do. Like, I don't know, it's some pathetic excuse for essentially scamming people and draining the entire liquidity on the exchange, essentially, by using a exploit. And their main exploit was, you could, because it's a cross collateral, it still is, I mean, it's still running, but it's a cross collateral exchange, right? So Mango Markets, you can put SOL down, same as in Drift, you can put SOL down, you can put all this stuff down, but you could also put the Mango token down, and the Mango token was quite low liquidity, especially in 22, which is when that took place, 2022, during the bear market. And essentially what he did is he had this massive short that was open and his huge P&L, and then he used that P&L to borrow the Mango token, and I think he sent it to FTX and did some crazy thing, and then essentially drained the entire liquidity using that unrealized P&L from a massive short he took out on Mango on FTX, I think it was. So essentially from all this is what you get. So don't do this stuff if you're thinking of manipulating protocols, because, you know, this is the result. Anyway, Mango's never quite recovered, unfortunately, from this event, but people did get their money back. So that's good, at least, you know, there's that. Now, Unruggable.io have launched a privacy-focused soft and hardware wallet for Solana and Bitcoin. Now, we already have a privacy wallet, or two at least that I'm aware of, on Bitcoin. One is Samurai and one is Wasabi, I think. But we don't have anything like that for Solana. So that'd be really cool if you can sort of, I don't condone this. So, I mean, it might not be legal in your region. I don't really know what the laws are where you are based on privacy wallets and stuff like that. But having something like this for Solana would be really cool, because why can't we have privacy when it comes to transferring funds and stuff like that? This animation is really cool. But anyway, the only thing that exists at the moment, and I've never used it before, I think is called Laundry, which you can use to, I think, mix, as they call it, mix your SOL. But I don't know how it works, and I don't know if it's any good. So having a wallet that can do it built in and, like, you know, mix transactions, mix your SOL and stuff like that would be kind of cool. But anyway, that's just something I thought I'd mention, is that, you know, we might be getting this Unruggable wallet soon. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. And we'll see how they pull it off, right? I don't know how they're going to execute it, but we've got a GitHub at the moment, and that's pretty much it. No website. So just a project that I'm following because I like the idea of it. Solana has been listed on Zapper. So Zapper is another portfolio tracker. Again, I think that you'll find that it's probably better to track on Sonar Watch or some of the other ones out there, because that didn't really pull in many. When I tested it, it didn't really pull in many DeFi apps. So, but anyway, they've added Solana balances, so you can check your balances in your wallet with Zapper, so that's kind of cool. If you use it for Ethereum and stuff like that, if you use Ethereum, then you can now use it for Solana as well. And the cool thing about Zapper is they do support Bitcoin wallet addresses, so I mean, that's pretty handy if you want to track your Bitcoin or add it to your overall portfolio. Another project I saw was SolStream. So there's actually a few of these sort of new projects popping up. So this is I guess kind of like a YouTube, I suppose, but on Solana. So that's kind of cool. There's donations and revenue sharing, and it's powered by LivePeer, which has been around for ages, actually. I remember seeing LivePeer years ago. So open source video infrastructure, yeah, here you go. It's kind of like Rockfin and stuff like that, where you can, you know, upload videos, and it's kind of all decentralized. Pretty sick. And yeah, so these guys are using LivePeer and OBS, which is what I'm using right now to record my screen. So anyway, I thought it was kind of cool project to watch and see how they do and what they do. Another thing I thought was really cool is I saw this VPN on Solana. So it's literally just called SolVPN, and it's free access for SolVPN holders. So they do have a token, so you can use it. I don't know. It's another, I don't think you would call this a DPIN play, I suppose. Maybe it is a DPIN play, but anyway, so I think it's kind of cool. Because you think about a lot of the centralized VPN companies, you don't really know what they do with your data. I only use VPNs where they don't use your data, and that's something that actually some VPNs do. But a lot of VPN companies are centralized. We don't know how they manage data information. It's out of your hands. So SolVPN is actually a really cool concept, looking to build decentralized VPN on Solana. So pretty cool. They do have a token, and you can find out more of it over on their X and on their website if you want to know more information about it. Don't know how well it performs compared to its competitors, but and as in the speed that you get through it, for example. But I mean, this is kind of what, you know, what we use the pathway for VPN at the moment. You got user, the app on your phone, for example, goes to your router, modem router essentially, and then for example with Nord, it goes to their servers and then to the internet. So theirs is a decentralized node. That's the only thing that's different, I guess, about that process. Well, there's pretty good speeds actually right here. So this got a 380, I think that's megabit, I would say, megabit speed. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's 31 nodes at the moment, 1,000 plus users. So it's not super adopted, but it's one of these things, if you got a Saga, you might as well give it a go. When I get my Saga, because I've pre-ordered the second one, I'm pretty much going to go nuts with all these sold apps. And it's just going to be like a super decentralized, deep in crazy Solana phone. But yeah, anyway. So I think this video has been going on long enough. So I think I'm going to split the rest of the crypto ecosystem video up into a part 3. I've done this before because I want to make these videos a bit easier to digest. And I think if the video goes for like an hour, I'll probably lose you. So anyway, that's it for the Solana portion of this video series. So if you want more information, got some ton ecosystem updates, some injective, and a few other things as well. So anyway, if you want more information on that stuff, then check out the next video. But for now, if you like the video, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Go check me out on X if you want all this information in real time before I do a video on it in long form. And I'll see you on the next one. This is Kryptolytix signing out. Have a good one.